most people either love one-on-ones or they absolutely dread them. And frankly, I understand both sides because they can be one of the most meaningful, life-giving tools in your toolkit, or they can be one of the most broken ones. In this video, I'm going to show you how to get the most out of your one-on-ones. When one-on-ones work, they can deepen trust, build connection, and help people grow. But when they don't, they can feel like rushed conversations, lengthy status updates, and people showing up not sure what to expect. And as a result, they get canceled more often than they're kept. So today, let's look at 5 key shifts you can make to greatly improve your one-on-ones. And also, let's look at a few things that you want to make sure you avoid. Shift 1, treat it as their time. So I'm talking to you managers from the people that report to you. When you're in a one-on-one, it's their time. This is the most important posture for you to bring to your one-on-ones. This is not a time for you to come with a laundry list of all the things that you need to communicate to them. Don't get me wrong. There's certainly a time to be really clear on expectations, and you should certainly have work management systems that help you keep tracks of your tasks and priorities and those types of things. But one-on-ones are time to go deeper. This is a time for the person to know that there's a recurring time on their calendar where they can get your undivided attention, and they're going to get to drive the agenda, and your job is to show up as a coach and help them to navigate those tough issues. Shift 2, build real connection. This meeting should feel different than every other recurring meeting you have. Start with a check-in unrelated to work. Heck, if you need to even go longer than the allotted 5 or 10 minutes you thought it was going to take, let it go longer if it's resulting in real meaningful connection. This is a time where you should really be focusing on active listening, helping the person to feel truly heard and seen. And when you do this, it's going to open up the conversation and the rest of the meeting so much more naturally. Shift 3, listen first, talk second. Many leaders show up to one-on-ones unintentionally dominating conversation. But the fastest way to build trust is to listen. In fact, you want to ask questions and listen a lot more than you tell. Because when you use questions, it's going to help them to think, to maintain ownership of the issues that they're bringing, ensuring that that issue doesn't transfer to you. And it's going to really empower them to be a much more resourceful problem solver. And they're going to feel truly supported by you in those conversations. Shift 4, develop intentionally. Go beyond the current projects and the current tasks and ask about their growth aspirations, both in their current role and beyond. Because one-on-ones offer a rare, unique time where you get to go deeper and truly understand how they want to grow and to come alongside them and coach them in a meaningful way that helps them get there. Shift 5, our final one, embrace a low agenda space. Now, I get it. As leaders, we are prone to have big to-do lists and to love efficiency and to be, in general, just achievers. But this is maybe one of the few times on your calendar that you should show up with a mindset of leaving space for big topics and discussions that might need to unfold. When you show up with this posture, it's going to send a signal to the other person that you're not so focused on just getting through the meeting and checking off all the boxes, but that you actually want to connect in a real meaningful way. When you show up this way, right, and leave space for one of those big topics when it begins to unfold and you dive into it and you lean into it, it's going to go a long way to building trust and connection. And I want to wrap this video up by giving you 3 key things to avoid when you're running one-on-ones. The first one is, do not use this as a time to give a bunch of advice. You should be primarily listening and asking great questions, right? So this isn't a time for you to make sure you're getting all the things across to your person. Instead, you want to be really taming that advice monster and showing up more as a coach. The second one is, do not use this as a time to go through a bunch of status updates. You can have asynchronous processes to give updates like that and tools to do that, maybe even team meetings or stand-ups. Your one-on-ones are meant to go much deeper. So thing to avoid, number 2, don't use this as a bunch of times, as a time to go through a bunch of status updates. And the last one, probably most important, is do not regularly reschedule or cancel your one-on-one. This might sound obvious, but I can't tell you how many leaders we've coached where this is what we hear the cases, and people just don't feel seen or important or noticed when this is happening. It sends a really strong unintentional message that the person isn't important, or their work isn't important, or the relationship isn't important, or that they don't matter to you. So sure, if there's a time that you need to reschedule or cancel every once in a while, that's okay. But when it's happening with frequency, be very aware of the signals that it's sending to the other person. When you design your one-on-ones around these principles, to connect, to develop, to better listen, and ultimately to build trust, you'll find that these meetings no longer feel like yet another dreaded obligation on your calendar, but they start to feel like the most significant investment that you can make in your people and therefore in your organization. If you liked this video, we'd greatly appreciate it if you would subscribe to our channel, and even more so if you would consider sharing it with someone in your network that you think could benefit from watching it. Thanks so much for watching. Stay tuned for more videos in the future.